It is a big mobile crane, and it's a classic mobile crane. Yes, this model is made by IMC Models, and it's the Demag AC650 in Mammoet colours.
Let's weigh it up.
We go straight to the Cranes Etc. weighbridge and we find a £13 15 ounces, which also happens to be 6.32 kilograms. Get the knife out, cut the box and have a look inside. And there's another layer of packaging, and when we open that, we finally see the Mammoet branded box. It's in the usual red and black colour scheme, and there's a photo of the real crane on the box. And on the back we see its Mammoet number 410289. I want to see what's inside. We have the usual pair of expanded polystyrene trays, and in the top there's a lid. And under that we find a manual and a collector card, and we'll have a quick look at those soon. The packaging is professional with clip fixings, and inside you can see the parts are well wrapped. We have the standard build manual for the AC650, and it's very good with a layout of the parts in the tray, and then all the parts are individually identified, and there are plenty of tools to help the assembly. All the various options for assembly are described, and only a reeving diagram for the hook blocks is missing. There's a numbered Mammoet collector card, and 600 models have been made. On the box is the photo of the real crane in travelling configuration, and for the initial assembly we will try to replicate that. This version of the model is a little bit different because it has a clip-on carrier box, and that plastic part can just be hooked on at the rear. The photo of the real crane had the front outriggers fitted, and there are also some parts of the superlift that we need to fit. So to begin with, we will fit the front outrigger beams, and that is easy to do. Firstly, you feed the piston of the hydraulic ram into the ram jacket and push hard to make it go in. When you've got enough penetration, you can then line up the holes on the fixing point. And all we have to do then is insert a long steel pin, and that goes in easily, and then we can close the outrigger beam up. At the rear we can fit the pads onto the end of the outrigger beams, although this doesn't really work on the front beams. Next we take apart the superlift frame, which is pre-assembled, and then various parts can be fitted to the boom. Pendants get pinned into place on each side, and then the connectors get fitted at the boom head. Lastly, we fit the support structure for the wind gauge. The model comes with a choice of hook blocks, and to put one on we need to get some rope off of the hoist drum, and to access that you remove the magnetic side plate and insert the key. You then push in on the drum and take off some of the rope. And here is a smaller hook block reeved up for transport.
Let's weigh it up again.
So onto the weighbridge we go, and the model weighs £5 6 ounces, or just over 2.4 kilograms. The chassis of the Demag AC650 model is very detailed. There are numerous suspension components, and also the drive shafts to the various axles. The carrier cab has got beacon lights and a nice curved windscreen, and there's a realistic number plate. A big plus point are the various very small graphics on the model, and the overall quality of the decoration is very high. The hook block is a metal part with chevron decoration. Behind the cab there is a Mammoet fleet number, and you can see that all of the rivet heads are highlighted. The wheels look very smart with their red centres. The boom has got spooling drums with a textured platform on top, and the outrigger beams have got Demag AC650 on them, with chevron graphics at the ends. At the back the additional carrier box is a very detailed piece, with an interesting font choice for the lettering. On top of the crane there are hydraulic hoses, and there are many pleasing details, including the textured walkway surfaces. Looking inside the cab you can see some very detailed computer consoles, And looking around the model, some of the detailed graphics are very sharp and legible. With the boom up, we can see the detailing behind the carrier cab, and it's very good, including a nice grille, and there are many detailed components to look at. The main ramps have metal jackets and look very smart. And if we move to the boom head, we see it's very detailed with metal sheaves, and there's a proper tying off point. Tiny graphics enhance the overall appearance. The boom has Mammoet graphics on the first section, and the walls of each section are realistically thin. The superlift is another part which is almost all in metal, and when tensioned up it all works pretty well with the ropes and pendants all looking good. The connection to the boom head also tensions up well. Back underneath the crane, and there is independent suspension on the axles, and 8 of the axles can be steered to a good angle, with axle 6 being fixed. On the road, the crane rolls along very well with all of the wheels properly grounded, and with the steering set it also performs very well. As mentioned, axle 6 is not steered, and it can be raised up out of service. And to do that, it's just a simple matter of tightening up the adjustment screw. With that done, axle 6 is raised, and as you can see here, it's raised enough not to be in contact with the ground. This crane does have a matching ballast trailer which is available, and it makes a very good looking set. We are on site now, so let's set the crane up, and the first thing we'll do is rotate the cab into an operating position, and it also raises slightly. And then the outrigger beams can be extended outwards. They also have locking bars to fix the angle, and they get pinned in place. The beams are telescopic, and the model also includes metal spreader plates and pads which fit on the ends of the pistons. Fully set up, the crane can be wheels free. Raising the big heavy boom is nice and smooth, and you lock it in position with an Allen key. The model also comes with 2 sets of lifting chains, and is always a welcome inclusion. The crane can be displayed in a self-ballasting mode, and the ballast tray fits on special locators on the carrier deck. And to complete the pose, you can load up the counterweight blocks. To fit the counterweight tray, you hook it under at the back and just secure it with a very long steel pin. Once fitted, you can load up the counterweight blocks, and the crane can be rotated ready for work. To extend the telescope sections, you just pull them out in the usual way, and they work very nice and smoothly with no looseness. They have the usual spring clip locking system on each section, and they can each be locked at 3 extensions. The crane cab benefits from a modest tilt angle. Here you see the crane set up, working, lifting something or other. And here it is, rigged with the superlift, lifting some big bit. But if you don't want to lift bits and pieces, you can always lift the included Mammoet plate. The Demag AC650 is a classic crane first introduced in 1998. This version of the model by IMC looks great in the distinctive Mammoet colour scheme. This very high quality model has got some excellent detailing, and that's combined with very usable functionality. Overall, this model of a classic crane is rated as excellent.